Let's go into Lily, go check in with Lily and see what social media questions at the moment we have.
This one asks -10 plus 19b equals 7b plus 2. And they ask to solve for b.
I can take that one, even though it's an algebra
Part of
question.
the issue with that one is that there are variables on both sides. I think that's one of the difficult issues with that.
And I think that throws everybody off at the beginning. But with this, really, you're kind of doing the same thing. You're just isolating the variable b. But like Becca said, the challenge is that there are variables on both sides. So we can actually do this a couple ways. But ultimately, you kind of want to combine like terms. So what I'm going to do is kind of look at my like terms and think about what I can do to combine, for example, 19b and 7b. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to, move this over to the other side. I'm going to take this out, do the inverse operation to subtract 7b from this side. Keeping in mind when we talk about equality, we have to do what we do to one side of an equation, we have to do to the other. So I'm going to do that over here. And that kind of resolves the issue of the variable being on both sides. So I like to go through these kind of step by step and avoid making mistakes. So I'm going to copy everything else over. 19b minus 7b is positive 12b equals, and then we come over here, 7b minus 7b is going to be 0, so these are going to cancel out. That's kind of the goal here, and that's going to equal 2. So we're still doing this thing where we want to kind of combine our like terms. So I'm going to now add 10 to this side because it's going to cancel it out. Do the same thing to this side for equality, and these cancel out, and I'm left with 12b equals 12. So the last step here is, again, I want to isolate my variable b. So if I have 12 times b, I need to do the opposite. So if we have multiplication, right, the opposite of multiplying is going to be division, or the inverse operation. So if this is 12 times b, I'm going to go ahead and divide. And that cancels out my 12, and I get b equals 1. So that would be your solution. The good thing about these problems is if you're ever not sure if you did it right, you can just check your answer really easily. By what we're saying is, if b is 1, this side of the equation here should be equal to or the same as this equation here. So if I want to just double check these, all I'm going to do is plug in 1 for my variable. So plus 19 times 1, and that should be the same as 7 times 1 plus 2. And I'll just check that really quick. -10 plus 19 equals 9. And in this case, 9 does equal 9, so that worked out. So really easy to check these if you're ever doing your homework or just taking a test. You can always be sure that you got the right answer by just substituting and making sure that the statement is true.
Very nice. Yeah, those actually make me think of if you have a multiple choice test, when they give you questions like that, you could just even check all of the
That's a good strategy
choices.
if you just have no idea what to do, although we always try to avoid teaching that method, but a lot of students figure that out.
I know, so. I know.
Subscribe!
Come on, push the button.
You know you want to.
Do it.